looking everywhere, that's how the story goes. Grab your gear, hold on tight, it's a wild ride ahead, in the zombie story zone, where the brave don't fear the dead.
Welcome to the Zombie Story Zone, where fear meets passion and beauty hides the undead. Imagine this, a remote valley untouched by time, a mansion older than memory, and a group of young friends looking for nothing but fun, freedom, and love. But paradise comes with a price. In Whispers of the Undead Valley, romance blooms beneath the stars, laughter fills the ancient halls, and love triangles spark in moonlit gardens. But just as hearts begin to open, something ancient awakens. A cursed valley, 3 mysterious sisters, and a secret buried beneath stone and soil for over 100 years. This isn't just a vacation, it's a trap, and not everyone will survive what comes after sunset. Will love conquer the darkness, or will the undead claim their final victims? Get ready for 12 chapters of romance, horror, suspense, and shocking twists that will keep you guessing till the very end. If you love chilling stories filled with mystery, heartbreak, and haunting beauty, this one's for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single scream or a single kiss.
To the zombie story zone, where the tales of the undead are widely known. Join the hunt, uncover the fight, in the zombie story zone, we'll survive the night.
The sun hung low as the van turned off the last winding road and descended into the valley. Lush hills rolled in every direction, blanketed in golden grass and wildflowers. A crystal-clear river sparkled under the fading sunlight, and in the center of the valley stood the farmhouse, old, elegant, and breathtaking. It looked like something from a forgotten fairy tale. Ivy climbed its ancient stone walls, and crimson flowers bloomed from every balcony. The windows shimmered like glassy eyes, reflecting the orange and pinks of the sunset. The air was rich with the scent of lavender, fresh fruit, and pine. The group of friends stepped out of the van, mouths open in awe. Jake stretched his arms. We found heaven. Liam smiled, camera in hand. No cell service, no noise, just peace. There were 8 in the group. Jake, Liam, and Noah, the trio of lifelong best friends. Emily, the calm and kind one. Chloe, stunning and secretive. Zara, bold and wild. And their 2 new friends, Maya, a graceful dancer, and Nina, the quiet romantic who always carried a notebook. Before they could knock, the tall wooden doors creaked open. 3 women stood at the entrance. Selena, elegant with emerald eyes and flowing black hair. Marla, fiery and seductive. And Ivana, playful with a crooked smile. They looked like they'd stepped out of a vintage painting. "Welcome to Eden," Selena said warmly. "We've been expecting you." The friends exchanged glances. Unexpected? Strange, but charming. "Come," Ivana purred. "The house is alive tonight." They entered the mansion, laughter echoing behind them, unaware that the beautiful valley would soon whisper with something darker. But for now, paradise had opened its gates, and paradise was intoxicating. Nightfall painted the sky in shades of violet as lanterns were lit around the garden. A soft breeze rustled the trees. Music played from a vintage gramophone, and glasses clinked under the silver light of a rising moon. The bonfire crackled in the courtyard, sending golden sparks into the night. Everyone had changed into lighter clothes, barefoot in the grass, their laughter mingling with the music. It was a night soaked in wine, laughter, and flirtation. Maya danced gracefully on the stones, spinning like a leaf on the wind. Liam played soft tunes on his guitar while Nina hummed along, shyly stealing glances at him. Marla sat beside Noah, feeding him berries from her fingers. He pretended to protest, but his grin said otherwise. Emily and Jake leaned against a tree, trading old college stories. Chloe sat nearby, silent but smiling, eyes trailing from Jake to Selena. The older woman moved like silk, her hand brushing Jake's shoulder, her gaze deep and unreadable. "Tell me," Selena whispered to Jake, "do you believe in timeless places, where nothing changes and love lingers forever?" Jake laughed, a little dazed. "I might now." Chloe's heart ached. She sipped her wine and looked away. Fireflies appeared one by one, drifting through the garden like tiny floating stars. Zara lay in the grass, staring up at them. "This is magic," she said softly. The air pulsed with warmth and wine. It was the kind of night where secrets felt safe to share, and hearts opened quietly under the stars. The house behind them glowed with soft candlelight, windows wide like open arms. They didn't know it yet, But they were being watched, not just by the sisters, but by something older, something buried. For now, joy ruled the night. Morning sunlight filtered through the tall windows as birds welcomed the day with cheerful songs. After a lazy breakfast served by the sisters, fresh fruit, honey, and warm pastries, the group set out for a hike. Selena led them down a hidden path behind the orchard, through meadows soaked in golden light. The trail twisted into a dense forest, where ferns brushed against their legs and butterflies danced over damp moss. After nearly an hour, they reached it, a stunning waterfall that crashed down the cliffside into a turquoise pool below. The sound of rushing water echoed through the trees. It was a secret place, untouched, as if the world had forgotten it. Squeals of joy erupted as everyone jumped into the water, clothes and all. Chloe floated on her back, laughing. Maya did spins underwater. Zara climbed the rocks and leapt in with a splash that soaked them all. Noah flirted with Marla, splashing water in her face. She chased him, her laugh echoing through the trees. Nina sat with her notebook under a tree, sketching the scene. Liam took photos of everything, capturing moments like memories frozen in time. Jake and Chloe drifted toward the rocks near the fall. "This place is unreal," he said. Chloe smiled. "So are you when you're not being a flirt." Jake smirked. "You saying you missed me?" Chloe hesitated, then smiled back. "Maybe." Just then, Selena appeared on the rocks above, dressed in red, barefoot and glowing in the sun. Her dress floated around her like mist. "Careful," she said, her voice echoing strangely. "This valley holds memories. Some never leave." Jake looked up at her, mesmerized. Chloe's smile faded, a shiver crawling down her spine. She couldn't explain it. For a moment, the water beneath them felt too cold. That evening, the farmhouse opened its heart. The friends explored every corner, discovering wonder after wonder inside the ancient walls. The mansion was vast, filled with velvet-lined hallways, spiral staircases, old chandeliers, and furniture that looked hand-carved centuries ago. Candlelight danced across faded portraits of long-lost lovers and forgotten kings. In the grand hall, Maya twirled barefoot across the polished floor, her laughter echoing like music. Zara found a piano and tapped out soft notes while sipping wine. Nina disappeared into the house's hidden library, lost among books with leather covers and golden edges. Ivana pulled Liam toward the back garden, whispering, "I'll show you something no one else has seen." He followed without hesitation. Emily and Chloe found a secret rose garden glowing under the moonlight. Statues stood among the vines, men and women in eternal embrace, their eyes forever closed. The scent of roses was strong, sweet, and dizzying. "Feels like we're in a dream," Emily said. "Or a fairy tale," Chloe whispered. Inside, Selena led Jake down into the ancient wine cellar. She poured him a glass from a dark bottle, her hand brushing his. "Do you believe in soulmates?" she asked, her voice soft as silk. Jake looked into her eyes. "I don't know. Maybe I'm about to." Upstairs, Chloe watched from a balcony. Her heart throbbed, a mix of jealousy and something else. Worry? Unease? But even her doubt faded in the beauty of the night. The house was perfect. The food, the warmth, the endless rooms, it felt like heaven carved into the earth. Outside, the moon rose higher. Wolves howled in the distance, and in the shadows beyond the rose garden, something moved. Too slow to be a breeze, too silent to be human. But inside, all was still joy. For now. The group decided to spend another night under the stars. A fresh bonfire was lit in the orchard. The sisters provided wine, darker and sweeter than before. The flames danced and laughter rose into the night sky. Selena wore midnight blue, blending into the shadows. Her eyes never left Jake. Zara led everyone in a silly dance. Maya climbed onto a wooden table and performed a graceful solo. Music played from an old radio. Noah slipped into the woods with Marla, chasing her like a playful wolf. Chloe watched the flames, restless. Something inside her stirred, an instinct. She turned to find Nina sketching again. "You always draw when you're nervous," Chloe said softly. "I don't know why," Nina whispered. "This place feels watched." Minutes later, a blood-curdling scream came from the forest. Everyone froze. It was Zara. Jake, Liam, Chloe, and Emily ran toward the trees with flashlights. They found Zara on the ground, trembling, her dress torn. "Noah," she gasped. "Something took him." Branches cracked. Something fast moved behind the trees. Jake caught a glimpse. A pale figure with glowing eyes and blood dripping from its mouth. They searched, but Noah was gone. Back at the farmhouse, the sisters were calm, too calm. Selena simply said, "The valley takes what it wants." Jake was silent the rest of the night. Chloe stood near him, unsure whether to speak or hold him. Emily wrapped a blanket around Zara. The fire still crackled, but the warmth was gone. Somewhere in the trees, something moaned. Morning arrived with heavy clouds and a strange silence. The birds didn't sing. The breeze had gone still. Jake wandered the edge of the woods, searching for Noah. Chloe followed him, worried. "What if something's out there?" she asked. "I don't care. I'm not leaving him," Jake said. Selena joined them. "No one leaves this valley without facing the truth." Chloe frowned. "What truth?" Selena didn't answer. Instead, she handed Jake a jar of herbs. For the bite. Jake pulled up his sleeve. There was a gash on his arm. "When did this happen?" Chloe gasped. "Last night, something scratched me." Chloe looked into his eyes. They were duller. Back at the house, Nina and Liam discovered a hidden staircase behind the library shelf. It led down into a dark stone tunnel. "This isn't on the map," Liam whispered. They followed it, finding a locked iron door with carvings of skulls and vines. From inside came distant groaning. "I think we need to leave," Nina whispered. Zara woke screaming from a nightmare. Emily tried to comfort her. "He's gone," Zara cried, "and something inside me is breaking." Upstairs, Jake sat alone, sweating, shaking. Chloe approached him, placing her hand on his forehead. "You're burning up." Jake looked at her, fear in his voice. "Chloe, if something happens to me, don't trust Selena." And then Jake's eyes rolled back. He collapsed. Selena appeared, calm. "Take him to the cellar. He'll survive if you let me help." Chloe didn't answer, but her heart was breaking. Nina, Maya, and Liam stayed behind while Chloe followed Selena into the cellar. It was colder than expected, lit by candles, the stone walls lined with ancient tapestries and jars filled with herbs and powders. Jake lay on a silk-draped bed, breathing heavily. Selena began a ritual, chanting in a language Chloe didn't understand, mixing herbs, drawing symbols on Jake's chest. Chloe tried to speak, but Selena stopped her with a look. "He's between two worlds now. If he's strong, he'll return." Back upstairs, Nina wandered into a locked study and found journals, old ones wrapped in leather. She opened one and read aloud to Maya and Liam. "Every 100 years, the sisters return. Their beauty never fades, but their hunger grows. They need the life of young men to remain eternal. And with their return, the dead awaken." The three froze. Maya whispered, "We're not guests here, we're offerings." Meanwhile, Emily followed a sound into the east wing. She discovered a hall of statues, young men in romantic poses. But one statue had blood around its mouth. It wasn't a statue, it moved. Emily ran. Chloe sat beside Jake, holding his hand. He opened his eyes, but they were wrong. Pale, distant, filled with pain. "Jake?" He growled and pushed her back. Selena stepped forward, placing her hands on his head. "He's not ready." Chloe ran upstairs. The sisters stood at the top of the stairs, smiling. Marla held a knife. Ivana licked blood from her fingers. And outside the windows, Noah was back, but his eyes were white. Jake was locked in the cellar, resting. Chloe paced the hallway, heart pounding. Emily and Zara joined her, pale and shaken. Nina handed Chloe the journal she found. "Read it. This house isn't haunted, it's cursed." Outside, Noah stood in the orchard, unmoving. His skin had gone gray, his hands twitched, his mouth opened unnaturally wide. Liam stared at him from the window. "We need to leave now." But the cars were gone. Chloe cried quietly in the garden. Maya approached and sat beside her. "You still love him, don't you?" "I never stopped." Chloe pulled out a note from her pocket. Jake's handwriting. It was written before the trip. "If I ever lose myself, promise you'll remember who I really was." That night, the house grew cold. The walls groaned. Footsteps echoed in empty hallways. Zara saw Noah again, this time crawling across the rooftop. She screamed. The group ran to her room. Selena appeared with Ivana and Marla. "He belongs to us now," Marla said. "So will Jake, unless you give us what we want." "And what's that?" Chloe demanded. Ivana smiled. "You." Suddenly, Jake burst into the room, eyes half dead but still fighting. "Run," he growled, grabbing Chloe's hand. They fled through the garden, dodging the undead, the sisters behind them, chanting. Chloe looked at Jake. "You're still in there." And he was. But how long would he stay? Jake and Chloe ran through the side gardens into the orchard shed. His body trembled violently. "I'm changing," he gasped, "but I can still think, for now." Chloe clutched his face. I won't lose you again. Jake kissed her, desperate, raw, real. Inside the house, Emily, Zara, Maya, Liam, and Nina prepared to fight. They had wooden stakes, old hunting knives, and a map Nina found in the library that showed hidden tunnels beneath the house. Let's find their source, Liam said, and destroy it. The tunnels were lined with bones, vines, and symbols that pulsed with faint red light. The deeper they went, the colder it became. They discovered a chamber of coffins. Inside one, they found a decaying man, eyes wide open. He's still alive? Maya asked. No, Emily whispered. He's undead. Suddenly, the wall cracked open, revealing an altar and a pit filled with bones. At its center was a glowing red crystal, beating like a heart. It's their anchor, Nina gasped. If we destroy that, we destroy their power. Selena, Marla, and Ivana appeared behind them, dressed in black. Fools, Marla hissed. This land is ours. You belong to us. Zombies emerged from the shadows. Liam and Zara held them off, while Nina and Emily ran toward the altar. Above, Jake collapsed again. Chloe held him tightly. Don't leave me, she cried. Jake's voice was faint. Then run, before I hurt you. The altar pulsed faster as the sisters chanted in unison. Shadows danced wildly. Zombies crawled from the pit. Liam and Zara fought fiercely. Maya screamed as a creature bit into her leg. She stabbed it through the eye, trembling. Emily reached the altar and pulled out the crystal. It burned her hands, but she held it high. Selena growled, "Drop it and live." Chloe and Jake arrived just then. Jake was half zombie, his face pale, his teeth sharp, but his eyes were still human. Chloe stepped between Selena and Emily. You lied to us. You used us. Selena's voice darkened. We loved once, and love betrayed us. Now we feed on it. Ivana lunged. Jake caught her midair and slammed her into the altar. She screamed, disintegrating into ash. Marla stabbed Jake through the side with a bone dagger. He gasped. No, Chloe cried, catching him as he fell. Jake smiled weakly. I remember our first kiss. Chloe looked at the crystal in Emily's hands. Do it! Emily hesitated. Now. She slammed it to the floor. A shockwave ripped through the chamber. Light erupted in every direction. The sisters shrieked. The walls crumbled. The zombies screamed, then fell silent. Selena looked at Chloe. You broke the cycle. Then she faded into dust. Smoke rose from the ruins. The house above cracked apart, flames licking at its windows. The valley echoed with silence. Zara limped beside Liam, covered in scratches. Maya leaned on Emily, her leg bandaged. Nina held the old journal, now blank. Chloe cradled Jake's body. He was pale, still, cold, but peaceful. His hand still held hers. You saved us, she whispered, tears pouring down her cheeks. You saved me. They carried him outside as the sun rose. For the first time, light touched the valley without casting long shadows. A soft wind blew through the trees. Flowers bloomed along the cracked earth. They buried Jake beneath the old oak tree, the same one where they danced their first night. Chloe left his note in a glass jar beside him. If I ever lose myself, promise you'll remember who I really was. The group walked away, changed forever. No one spoke, but they all felt it. The curse was over, or so they thought. He who remains. Weeks later, Chloe returned alone. She stood before Jake's grave, the valley now peaceful, the house reduced to stone ruins and wild vines. I came to say goodbye, she said softly, but I'll never stop loving you. A breeze stirred the trees. The leaves rustled. Behind her, footsteps. She turned. Jake stood beneath the tree, alive, but not quite. His eyes glowed faint blue, not undead, not human. Jake, she gasped. He smiled gently. You kept your promise. She ran to him, but he stepped back. I can't stay. I'm bound here now. The curse is broken, but I became its vessel. Chloe cried. Then I'll stay too. No, he whispered. Live your life, love again, but remember me. He faded like mist. The wind blew gently, carrying his voice. The valley remembers everything, even love. As Chloe walked away, the sun rose, casting golden light across the valley. But in the forest behind the ruins, something moved. The whispers had only paused, not ended.
And so, the valley sleeps again. Its secrets buried beneath ashes, its whispers lost in the wind. Love was found and lost. Sacrifices were made, but some souls never truly leave. Chloe walked away with a heart broken, yet full. Because even in death, Jake kept his promise. The curse may be broken, but the valley remembers. And somewhere, beyond the trees, in the silence of the ruins, something still breathes. Thank you for joining us on this haunting journey through beauty, romance, and the undead. If you enjoyed Whispers of the Undead Valley, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more dark and thrilling tales. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Did love win? Or is this just the beginning? Until next time, stay alive, stay alert, and beware the valley. This is the Zombie Story Zone where love never dies, but something else always rises.
No, join the hunt, uncover the fright in the Zombie Story Zone. We'll survive the night. We'll survive the night. From the graveyards to the streets, hear the whispers low. Every story's a thrill, come and let your courage show.